All right, let's just jump right in. So, picture this. You know the technology inside and out. I mean, you could probably debug a kernel panic in your sleep. But then, a critical incident hits. And suddenly, you have to write a super clear, professional update in English for all the stakeholders, or maybe escalate to a vendor. And all that confidence just evaporates. Sound familiar? It's a really common challenge. And in this explainer, we are absolutely going to fix that.
And this isn't just about looking good either. The data is super clear on this. According to Google's own SRE handbook, teams that have structured, clear incident communication can actually cut down their resolution times by up to 30%. And that really gets to the heart of it, right? Clear communication isn't some soft skill. It's a core technical competency that literally makes you faster and more effective at your job.
So, here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we're going to build a solid foundation with some essential email templates. Then, we'll shift gears to real-time Slack communication. After that, we'll do a little polishing by tackling some common pronunciation pitfalls. And finally, we're going to put it all together in a real-world scenario so you can see how it works. Okay, so when an incident is blowing up, the last thing you want to be doing is trying to write a high-stakes email from scratch. I mean, that's just a recipe for stress and mistakes. The real key to staying calm and professional is all about preparation, and that starts with having pre-written templates locked and loaded.
The good news is you don't need a million different templates. You really only need 3 that cover the most critical points in an incident's life. First, updating your internal teams. Second, escalating to an outside vendor when you need help. And third, summarizing what happened for your customers after the dust is settled. Let's break each one down.
So let's start with the incident update. This template is all about building trust. The subject line is key, right? It immediately tells everyone the status and what's affected. You summarize the impact, but in simple terms, no heavy jargon. But honestly, the most crucial part here is the very last one, next update. See, you're not promising a time for a fix, you're promising a time for your next communication. And that is the single most important thing you can do to build credibility, because you're setting an expectation you know you can meet.
Okay, next up, vendor escalations. This whole structure is basically the SBAR framework. That's situation, background, assessment, and recommendation. It's used by people in really high-stakes fields, like medicine and the military. You state the situation, give them the essential background, offer your assessment of what's wrong, and then you finish with a crystal-clear request. There's just no room for confusion. This format gives the vendor exactly what they need to get started right away.
And finally, the customer-facing summary. Now let's be super clear. This is not your internal, super technical, deep dive postmortem. This is a short, transparent, trust-building document for your users. You explain the impact simply, you say what you did to fix it, and, this is really important, you provide a blameless cause and a couple of key actions you're taking to prevent it from happening again. It just shows you're accountable and committed to getting better.
Okay, let's shift from those more formal emails to the fast and sometimes chaotic world of Slack during an incident. In a busy channel, your words can either fuel the panic or they can project calm and control. Our goal is always the second one.
And wow, this slide just says it all, doesn't it? On the left, you've got this stream of consciousness message that just creates anxiety. It's unsure, it's informal, it's just stressful. But on the right, that's a structured professional update. It declares the severity, it clearly defines the impact, it confirms the team is on it, and it sets a super clear expectation for the next communication. This simple format immediately makes you sound like you're in control.
Having a few of these phrases in your back pocket can be a total lifesaver. They're neutral, they're factual, and they're really reassuring. I especially like phrases like, "I can see why this is frustrating," because it validates how people are feeling, and that helps bring the tension down. And, yep, there it is again, a commitment to a specific update time. It really is the most powerful tool you have for managing a chaotic situation.
All right, this next part might seem like a small detail, but believe me, it has a big impact on your credibility, especially if you're on a conference call with a bunch of senior engineers. Getting the pronunciation of key technical terms right is a subtle signal that you're confident and you belong in that professional environment.
So let's just quickly run through the 5 most common ones. First up, SQL. Now, saying SQL is totally fine, but its original name was actually SQL, so you'll often hear senior engineers say SQL. Next is cache. It's just Kosh, rhymes with smash. Try to avoid cache. For Nginx, it's easy, just think Nginx. A daemon is pronounced demon, exactly like the mythical creature. And finally, cron comes from chronos, the Greek word for time, so it's cron, rhyming with John. Okay, theory's over. We've got the templates, we've got the Slack phrases, we've even got our pronunciation down. Now, let's apply all of this to a realistic support incident and see it all work together in action.
So here's our situation. We've got a payment gateway issue. It's been going on for 2 hours. It's a priority 2, but we're not getting it resolved. So we need to do 2 things. Escalate to the payment vendor for help and let our internal teams know exactly what's going on.
When you're under pressure, it is so easy to write something that looks just like this. I mean, the subject line is just pure panic. The body of the email doesn't have any critical details, and it just sounds desperate, not professional. This does not inspire confidence, and it doesn't help the vendor help you.
And this is where a tool like Grammarly can be your best friend. If we just copy and paste that text into it, the tone detector immediately confirms what we were feeling. It flags the tone as worried, informal, and unsure, which is exactly the impression we want to avoid when we're asking for urgent help.
So let's apply our template instead. Just look at the difference here. The subject is professional and it's informative. The body gets straight to the point, gives the start time, and even says our investigation points to their API. It ends with a clear, direct call for immediate assistance. It's formal, it's confident, and it's actionable. It gives the vendor a clear place to start looking. And at the very same time, we drop this into our internal Slack channel. It's calm, it's clear, it explains what we're doing, we're escalating, and it sets that clear expectation for the next update. There's no panic here, just professional communication that keeps everyone in the loop and brings the anxiety level way down. So what's the bottom line here? It's all about building good habits. Use templates so you never have to stare at a blank page during a crisis. Communicate with a predictable rhythm, always promising the next update time, not a fixed time. In Slack, project calm with neutral factual language. And hey, take a few minutes to practice those key tech terms. And finally, a quick tone check before you hit send can make all the difference in the world.
And that's a wrap. Look, the techniques we've covered today are simple, but they are so powerful. They really can turn communication from being a source of stress into one of your best tools for resolving incidents faster. So just think about it. What is one habit, just one, that you can start building this week? Maybe it's just saving those 3 email templates. That tiny step can make a huge difference the next time an alert fires.